Ethan Cole looked like the perfect boyfriend, and Maya Turner believed she had finally found safety in his arms. But behind his gentle smile and carefully made bed, Ethan was hiding a secret darker than anyone could imagine. What began as a love story filled with soft promises and quiet nights would soon unravel into a nightmare buried beneath the bedroom floor, where trust turned into terror and the man Maya loved revealed himself as something far more dangerous than a broken heart. Ethan Cole was the kind of man people trusted instantly. He had a calm voice, steady eyes, and a polite smile that never seemed forced. He worked as a financial consultant and dressed neatly every day, even on weekends. Neighbors often saw him carrying groceries for elderly residents in the building. He remembered birthdays, brought flowers without being asked, and never raised his voice in public. To everyone watching from the outside, he looked dependable and kind. When he met Maya Turner at a mutual friend's dinner party, he appeared different from the other men she had dated. He listened carefully when she spoke. He asked thoughtful questions. He never interrupted. After a few weeks, he began sending her small handwritten notes, telling her how much he admired her strength and intelligence. Maya felt seen and valued in a way she never had before. Their relationship moved quickly but smoothly. Ethan planned quiet evenings at home instead of loud nights out. He talked about building a future together, about stability and loyalty. Within 6 months, Maya moved into his apartment. It felt like a natural step, not a rushed decision. Friends described them as the perfect couple. Their photos online showed soft lighting, warm meals, and close embraces. Everything looked safe and loving. Ethan often kept one arm protectively around Maya's shoulders, as if shielding her from the world. But behind his gentle habits and careful routines, there was something harder to see. His calmness sometimes felt too controlled, too practiced. His smile, though warm, rarely reached his eyes for long. The perfection was impressive, but it was also unsettling in a way no one could yet explain. After settling into Ethan's apartment, Maya slowly began to notice details she had overlooked before. At first, they seemed harmless. Ethan was particular about cleanliness. He wiped down surfaces every evening and insisted on washing the bedsheets twice a week. He claimed he liked everything to feel fresh. Maya thought it was simply a habit formed from living alone for years. But his routines were strict. Every night before bed, he checked the front door lock 3 times. Then he checked the bedroom window, even though it barely opened. Finally, he locked the bedroom door from the inside. When Maya asked why, he calmly explained that it made him feel secure. The building was safe, the neighborhood quiet, yet he behaved as if someone might break in at any moment. There was also the wooden chest beneath the bed. It was old, with scratches along the edges. Whenever Maya tried to clean under the bed, Ethan quickly stepped in, saying he would handle it himself. His tone remained soft, but there was firmness behind it. He had not liked that chest being moved. One afternoon, while changing the sheets alone, Maya noticed faint discoloration on the mattress beneath the cover. The marks were small and faded, almost hidden. When she mentioned them later, Ethan paused for a split second before shrugging it off as spilled wine from years ago. He smiled, but the explanation felt rehearsed. The apartment carried a light scent of bleach that never fully disappeared. It lingered in the air, especially in the bedroom. Maya told herself she was overthinking. Everyone has quirks. Everyone has private habits. Still, as days passed, the feeling in her chest grew heavier, like a quiet warning she could not ignore. The discovery happened on an ordinary afternoon. Ethan had left for a 3-day business trip, and the apartment felt strangely lighter without him there. Maya decided to clean the home office, hoping to distract herself from the uneasy thoughts that had been building in her mind. While searching for a spare phone charger, she noticed that one drawer of the desk was locked. She had never seen it locked before. At first, she tried to ignore it, but curiosity mixed with fear pushed her forward. After several attempts, she managed to slide the drawer open using a thin metal nail file. Inside, she did not find anything valuable or expensive. Instead, she found a small stack of old papers tied together with a rubber band. On top was a newspaper clipping. The headline described a young woman who had vanished 3 years earlier in a nearby city. The article included a photo of the missing woman. Maya froze. The resemblance was disturbing. The woman had the same dark hair, similar facial features, and even dressed in a style Maya often wore. Beneath the clipping was a hotel receipt dated the same week the woman disappeared. The name signed on the receipt was Daniel Hayes. Maya had never heard that name before. Her hands trembled as she searched online. Within minutes, she found public records showing that a man named Daniel Hayes had legally changed his name to Ethan Cole shortly after that disappearance. The room felt colder. The calm, organized office no longer seemed safe. It felt staged, like a carefully designed set hiding a dangerous truth. Maya realized she was living with someone who had erased his past and possibly buried it along with something far darker. After uncovering the truth about Ethan's old identity, Maya began to observe everything with sharper attention. The apartment no longer felt like a shared home. It felt like a controlled space designed for a purpose she did not fully understand. Ethan's behavior, once comforting, now appeared calculated. He slowly reduced her contact with others. He complained that her friends were a bad influence. He claimed her family did not respect their relationship. Each concern sounded reasonable on its own, but together they created distance. Maya found herself canceling plans more often. Even her phone calls felt shorter, as if she had to hurry before Ethan walked into the room. The bedroom became the center of his control. Ethan rearranged the furniture one weekend, insisting it would create better balance. The bed was positioned directly facing the door. Heavy curtains replaced the lighter ones, blocking almost all natural light. He installed a new, stronger lock on the bedroom door, explaining that safety mattered more than comfort. At night, the air in the room felt thick. The faint scent of bleach lingered stronger there than anywhere else. Maya noticed small scratches along the wooden floor near the bed frame. They were thin and uneven, like something sharp had dragged across the surface. She ran her fingers over them, feeling a chill she could not explain. Ethan watched her more closely now. His gaze lingered longer than before. His kindness remained, but it felt forced, almost mechanical. The warmth in his eyes faded faster than it used to. The bedroom, once a place of rest, now felt like a silent witness. The walls seemed to hold secrets, and with every passing night, Maya felt less like a partner and more like someone being carefully positioned inside a trap she could not yet see clearly. The wooden chest under the bed no longer felt like a simple storage box. It felt like a locked truth waiting to be uncovered. Maya's fear had grown stronger than her hesitation. One evening, after Ethan fell asleep on the couch following a long day at work, she decided it was time to see what he had been hiding so carefully. She moved slowly, making sure the floor would not creak. The chest was heavier than it looked. Its surface was rough, with deep scratches along the corners as if it had been dragged many times. Her hands trembled as she lifted the lid. Inside, the contents were arranged neatly. On top were photographs of women she had never seen before. Each picture showed Ethan smiling beside them in different cities, in different homes. The women looked happy, comfortable, trusting. Some photos were taken in bedrooms that looked strangely similar to hers. Beneath the photos were small plastic bags. Each bag contained something personal: locks of hair tied with thin ribbon, pieces of jewelry, and identification cards. The IDs carried Ethan's face but displayed different names. Each card appeared official, carefully prepared. At the bottom of the chest lay a slim black notebook. The handwriting inside was precise and organized. Each entry described the beginning of a relationship, where they met, what the woman liked, what made her feel insecure. The notes detailed how to slowly isolate them from friends and family. The final pages of each section ended without explanation. No forward, no backup, just an abrupt stop. Maya felt the air leave her lungs. The chest was not filled with memories. It was filled with trophies. Each item represented someone who had trusted him, and she realized with cold certainty that her own photo would soon be added to the collection if she did nothing. The wooden chest under the bed no longer felt like a simple storage box. It felt like a locked truth waiting to be uncovered. Maya's fear had grown stronger than her hesitation. One evening, after Ethan fell asleep on the couch following a long day at work, she decided it was time to see what he had been hiding so carefully. She moved slowly, making sure the floor would not creak. The chest was heavier than it looked. Its surface was rough, with deep scratches along the corners as if it had been dragged many times. Her hands trembled as she lifted the lid. Inside, the contents were arranged neatly. On top were photographs of women she had never seen before. Each picture showed Ethan smiling beside them in different cities, in different homes. The women looked happy, comfortable, trusting. Some photos were taken in bedrooms that looked strangely similar to hers. Beneath the photos were small plastic bags. Each bag contained something personal: locks of hair tied with thin ribbon, pieces of jewelry, and identification cards. The IDs carried Ethan's face but displayed different names. Each card appeared official, carefully prepared. At the bottom of the chest lay a slim black notebook. The handwriting inside was precise and organized. Each entry described the beginning of a relationship, where they met, what the woman liked, what made her feel insecure. The notes detailed how to slowly isolate them from friends and family. The final pages of each section ended without explanation. No farewell, no backup, just an abrupt stop. Maya felt the air leave her lungs. The chest was not filled with memories. It was filled with trophies. Each item represented someone who had trusted him, and she realized with cold certainty that her own photo would soon be added to the collection if she did nothing. Once Maya understood the danger she was in, fear turned into focus. She knew panic would only make mistakes. Instead, she forced herself to act normal. She kept her routines steady. She smiled at dinner. She posted photos online to maintain the image of a happy relationship. Inside, however, she was carefully planning her escape. She began collecting small pieces of evidence whenever she could. She secretly took photos of the contents inside the wooden chest. She copied pages from a notebook while Ethan showered. She saved the images in a hidden online account he did not know existed. Each night, she placed her phone on silent recording mode and kept it beside her pillow. A few days later, something changed. Ethan brought home a large hardware store bag and placed it under the bed without explanation. After he left the room, Maya checked. Inside were heavy-duty plastic sheets, thick rope, and a roll of duct tape. The sight made her hands shake, but she kept her breathing steady. There was no more doubt. Whatever had happened to the women before her was about to happen again. Maya waited for the safest moment. Early one morning, Ethan left for work in a rush, forgetting to check under the bed as he usually did. Maya acted quickly. She packed the notebook, the fake IDs, and several photographs into her bag. She left the apartment quietly and went straight to the nearest police station. Officers listened carefully as she handed over the evidence. That same afternoon, investigators entered the apartment with a search warrant. What they discovered beneath the bedroom floorboards confirmed every fear she had tried to silence. The search of the apartment lasted for hours. What began as a quiet investigation quickly turned into a full criminal case. Beneath the bedroom floorboards, investigators uncovered sealed plastic layers carefully hidden under fresh wood panels. The materials matched the items Maya had found under the bed. Forensic teams worked methodically, documenting every detail. As officers continued examining the apartment, they discovered traces that had survived despite heavy cleaning. Chemical residue from strong cleaning agents was present throughout the bedroom. The mattress, the bed frame, and even sections of the wall contained evidence that had been concealed but not completely erased. Each finding supported a chilling pattern. When confronted at his office later that day, Ethan remained calm at first. His expression barely shifted as officers presented the evidence. But as more details were revealed, photographs, false identities, the notebook filled with calculated steps, his control began to crack. The carefully built mask slipped. Investigators later confirmed that he had used at least 4 different names over the years, moving from city to city after each disappearance. Cold case files were reopened across multiple states. Families who had waited years for answers finally received confirmation of what had happened to their loved ones. The pattern was undeniable. Ethan had built relationships with precision, isolating his victims before turning the bedroom into the final stage of his control. Maya's decision to act saved her life and exposed years of hidden crimes. What once looked like a perfect relationship was revealed to be a carefully designed trap. Behind soft smiles and thoughtful gestures, a predator had been hiding in plain sight. In the end, the truth was not hidden under the sheets forever. It was uncovered, documented, and brought into the light.